Hello everybody, welcome to this research methods overview. So this is the specification, this is what your tutor teaches you from. If you want to find it, you can Google OCR psychology specification and you'll see all of the details of the tick sheet of what we teach you from. So little reminder, an hour and a half on the AS spec for the research methods paper. It's 2 hours at second year. Psychological themes for course studies, again 2 hours for second year, but an hour and a half. Worth 75 marks each, so equal amounts. So we're going to look at the research methods. Overall, what are they assessing here? The planning, conducting, analysing and reporting psychological research across a range of experimental and non-experimental methodologies and techniques. So that's your experiments and it's your non-experimental methods, your self-reports, observations and correlations. Okay, let's have a look at the paper then. How does it look? You've got an hour and a half. It's more than a minute a mark because there's only 17 marks and there's 90 minutes. So here we go. You have to do 3 sections. Section A, multi-choice, which is a type of observation in psychological research. Just make sure that you only tick 1. Okay, be sure. If you do happen to change your mind and go back, be very clear, right next to it, this is it, ignore this one. Sometimes people tick 2 and are surprised why they don't get the marks there. So yeah, you work through the multi-choice questions. That's going to be a mix of statistics questions, it'll be a mix of strengths and weaknesses questions, it'll be which is the null hypothesis question, so it covers all of the different aspects of the research methods paper in multi-choice form. Okay. Section B, research design and response. So this is all about your designing a piece of research. The exam board wants to know that you are budding psychologists. So can you design a piece of research? Gives you a scenario. Make sure you read the scenario. Underline as you go. What I would do is keep an eye out for some key things. You know that you're going to be asked on one of the 4 methods within this. It's going to be one of the 4 methods, in this case correlation. I'd underline it. If it said observation, I'd underline it. And as soon as it says correlation, I'm thinking, right, variable 1 and variable 2. I've not got an IV and a DV because that's just for experiments. So as I read through, I want to underline what's variable 1 and what's variable 2. Okay. Each participant completed a language ability test, so that's going to be the measurement of variable 1, 20 words. And the physical coordination is variable 2. 6 different tasks, balancing on a beam, copying a dance routine. So it's the rating of their performance on these 6 different tasks. Okay, you've then got a few different questions, things like they predicted a significant negative correlation. Using the information, what is she expecting the results to show? The key thing in all of these, because they should be quite straightforward if you have revised, is underline the key words, okay? Explain what she was expecting the results to show. You've got to explain what she means by negative correlation, okay? Now, a negative correlation is as one variable increases, the other decreases. But you must relate it back to the scenario at all times. Imagine you've got a highlighter and after you've answered each question, you're going to underline, you're going to highlight where you've talked about either variable 1, physical coordination, or variable 2, language ability. Okay? You need to have made it clear that you're referring back to the article. Otherwise, you'll be getting the maximum of half marks on each question. Okay, so explain why. That's a key word there. Explain why the data collection is quantitative data. It is considered quantitative data because it is numerical. And again, the number of words recorded or the number of the rating on the physical task, that's the quantitative data. Okay, so keep relating it back to the study. Ignore these crossings out, something that I was pressing. Right, the 12 marker. I refer you to the 12 marker video. This is worth, if you think about the fact that the exam is only worth 90 marks, then 12 out of it's out of 70. 12 out of 70 is 17%. Consider that a grade is 10%. So this one question can be worth the difference between an E and a C, or a C and an A. So you really want to practice, you really want to know what you're doing, how to tick off those marks. Don't leave it to chance. Okay, so watch the 12-mark video for that. Okay. Final section is all about data analysis and interpretation. So they'll give you a set of data, most likely something like this, either raw data like this, or just the descriptive statistics. You could be asked to calculate the mean, the mode, the median. You could be asked to draw a scatter graph. You could be asked to work out what p equals 0.05 means, or if it's found to be significant at p is less than 0.05, what does that mean? Which office had a greater dispersion of scores? So obviously this one, because they've got a high, this one because it's got a higher range. So again, you have to relate it back to the scenario at all times. Okay, again, keep contextualizing it back. How do you calculate a median? Well, you put all of the data in numerical order and you find a middle value. You think that that's a good answer, but I've not related it back to this. For example, putting all of the data from the hot desking condition into numerical order and finding the middle value, okay, which is 5. So clearly contextualize, link back all the time. Draw a line graph to show the distribution of frequency. So there you go. Drawing graphs, what's meant by quasi-experiments, and some general stuff about you need to be prepared for research reports. The order of a research report goes abstract, you've got your aims, then you've got your methods, it goes abstract, and then you've got your background to the study, and you've got your method and your sample, and you've got your results, and then you've got your discussion. Your appendix is at the end, where all your raw data goes, and stimuli and things. After you've published a piece of research, peer reviews can happen, and so remember the purpose of a peer review is to be able to scrutinise for your peers, your colleagues, to scrutinise your work and to essentially evaluate your work. And you get up in front of them and they ask you questions and you have to justify the decisions you made, the design decision. Why did you use a self-report there? Why did you use an independent measures design? All right, surely there would have been too many individual differences. So that's what peer review is. And it's really there to increase, the accuracy, increase the reliability of research. Okay, so there you go. It's good to practice that paper. But yeah, section A is your multi-choice, section B is your design research for 12, and section C is your analysis of data. But the key message is contextualize. Okay, always link it back to this. All right. So use highlighters, use underliners, do whatever you will. Okay, but always relate it back. Okay, thanks for listening.